I believe this is the first television show that we're covering.
That's
so
cool.
this is a great honor.
That's
It is.
amazing.
And after all, he's a cinephile private eye living in
sure.
contemporary LA, and he sees the world through movies, particularly film noir, which is what the Letterboxd community also sees the world through. Could we start by talking about your relationship to the film noir genre and what draws you into that gritty...
I knew I should have brushed up. I signed on to do this based on the pilot script, which was really lovely and had a romance at the center, but not between two characters. There was just a sense of the romantic because of the obvious love for film that the central character Sugar had, and also how Los Angeles was described in the script. It was so beautiful and so provocative. So in talking to Mark, he gave me a list of his favorites, you know, Well, My Lovely, Murder, My Sweet, and then I did go back into ones that I had seen as a teenager, like The Maltese Falcon and The Big Sleep. It's such a clearly defined genre, and it has such a definite mood to it, and there's such lovely mystery always at the core of it, but there's always also this kind of abject disgruntlement that is readily available in every frame. I think it kind of also is why people are so obsessed with like murder documentaries and stuff like that. I think we do have a suspicion of the darkness at the heart of man, which doesn't just live alone, of course. It is counter to the light that also is there. But we love to be exposed to that darkness, and Noir gives us the opportunity to do that. Yeah, it was fun to swim in the waters of Noir. Would you call Sunset Boulevard Noir? You would?
Yes.
Would you?
I would.
Just the energy of it, yeah, and the voiceover and the mystery, yeah, at the center of it, I suppose. Those kind of things, yeah.
They have a swimming pool too.
Yeah, totally. And a voiceover. Swimming pool voiceover typewriter, done.
The first film I want to bring up is The Long Goodbye with Elliot Gould.
Gorgeous.
I want to talk about, I mean, obviously there's
I have
the
a dog,
beach
he has a cat.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, is
Yeah.
Wiley the dog. And then there's also the cat. You're working with a cat,
I am
Kirby,
working
as
with a
well.
cat.
I would really like to hear about working with Wiley the dog and this cat, especially because, Colin, you've worked with so many animals. Jenny the donkey,
Yeah.
Bob the dog from The Lobster, the Shih Tzu from Seven Psychopaths.
Yeah, yeah,
You've
yeah.
been doing it.
Wiley made it out unscathed. The rest of them had really horrible ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of horrible ends, tell us about that cat that wouldn't stop getting its asshole in the frame, would back itself up to the lens. Her cat on the regular. So many shots were ruined.
Completely ruined. There were two cats actually. One was really good, and then the other one just gave us pure bumhole actually. Sugar is a dog person, and not to speak for your character, but in the way I perceived it, as in, you know, that loyalty, that sort of optimism that dogs have.
Next up, The Night of the Hunter.
Charles Lawton, one of the great film actors and one of the greatest films.
And Robert Mitchum's performance as that murderous creature.
Amazing.
And he has those love and hate knuckle tattoos to illustrate that wrestle. Could you speak about how that represents John Sugar's own wrestle with morality?
Love and hate.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Sugar speaks very openly about detesting violence and not wanting to be a part of any form of violence, and yet he's obviously very adept at it. And I think by the end, Sugar starts off, of course, from a place of love, as we said, and compassion, and really, really heartfelt empathy for human beings and their struggle and his struggle. And by the end of it, I think hatred, anger, revenge, these kind of themes are something that become personally experienced for him by the end of the 8 hours.
The next film, LA Confidential.
Love.
My brother's a massive cinephile. He just came to LA and was so surprised that I hadn't seen that film. What is the film? It's Michael Douglas. He's having like a terrible day in LA.
Oh, LA, Falling Down.
Falling down.
Joel Schumacher.
Yes. My brother was like, he literally got here and was like talking to the cab driver about
Falling Down?
Yes.
It's a great film, Falling Down. It's one of Joel's great films. Yeah, Lord rest him. LA Confidential, James Cromwell, of course,
Cromwell.
who was with us in this.
That's exactly what I was about to bring up, is how James Cromwell is kind of this like meta link between LA Confidential and Sugar. Could you talk a little bit about that?
I got to work up close and personal with the man, and legend. And just, it's just such a, you just get giddy sometimes. You know, you get to work with and encounter and share moments of bringing stories to life with people that you have revered or you've felt a familiarity with, or you know, people that you were watching at home when you were a kid on your television, and all of a sudden you're sharing space with them and you're working on a text with them. I mean, it's
never get used to it.
Never get used to it. You could, I mean, I hope never get used to it.
Because it's
I don't
fantastic.
think so.
Yeah.
You know, Cromwell, he's gem. a gem.
Yeah.
Just huge heart, obviously ridiculous talent, and just an extraordinary storyteller.
So this is mentioned in the first episode, the big heat, because John Sugar gets starstruck because he gets to have the gun from that movie. So I was curious, as actors, have you ever had a moment like that where you've been given this iconic prop, or you've been filming on the same stage as one of your favorite movies and you just got to geek out about that?
That's such a good question.
I feel like the Paramount lot.
Yeah.
Whenever I
Totally,
just-
because
yeah.
Going
they
through the
have the
gates.
legends
Yes,
outside each
yes.
stage.
And
Agree
it's
with
still
you there,
quite
yeah.
small. Like some,
Yeah,
of
it's
the, some of the
beautiful.
newer lots, they feel newer, but the Paramount lot, none of us are from LA. So for me, it being like this little girl from London, and the Hollywood sign is one thing, but being
The
actually,
water towers.
yes,
Yeah,
the
the
water
water
tower.
towers.
I love.
And then driving from trailers to set and going through all the fake streets
it's
in
so
the back.
windy
so it
and
does, yeah.
twisty. That to me always feels magical.
And then next film, Gilda. So a clip of that appears in the first episode. I was super stoked to see that clip. I've seen that movie 3 times. I love it. It's such a film school staple because it's pioneering and also subverting the femme fatale and damsel in distress archetype. And Amy, I feel like your character is also subverting all of these tropes at the same time. It's so interesting. So could you talk about how your character kind of has a similar function?
Yeah, she is this damsel in distress, femme fatale, but yet they lean in more to true friendship and recognition of each person's flaws, and they're connected through that as opposed to just pure attraction, rumpled cheeks, and desire, you know, but because of that, we get a sustained relationship throughout the series.